looking at like the tweet, it got, you know, it didn't get too bad, a bad amount of attention really. Because I have less than 100 followers on my Raindrop Chronicles account, so that kind of proves the hashtag worked. The screenshots that I do hashtag is actually decent now, isn't it? So yeah, I thought, yeah, a lot of new people commented on it and liked it, so people are noticing, and I think that means it's worth doing for sure. Hi Dav, how are you doing? How are you doing, Dav? It's so good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. How is your Monday going? Rose, in a month, it's been 3 years, yeah. Okay guys, so in our title today, I have got that we're going to be doing scene work, which is this part here. So we've got quite a lot to do in July, and I think it'll be good to get that scene finished today, or make as much progress as possible, because with what I'm thinking with the boss battle, because they're linked, this scene that we're working on now is heavily linked to the boss. I mean, the characters we meet in the scene are the boss, so, and because I kind of want us to consider narratively how that boss battle is going to go, I think it'll probably make more sense to do the actual scene first, so we can refresh ourselves on those characters and what they're like. And then on Wednesday, I'm actually going to think about the boss battle narratively and the consequences of the choices you make in that boss battle. Because we haven't really talked about that side of things much yet. We just talked about the mechanical side of it, like the skills and the animations and the balancing. But the actual narrative side of that battle is like actually very important, and we don't want to neglect that either. So yeah, on Wednesday we'll probably talk about that part of the battle more, and think about the second phase of the fight as well. And but it's definitely easier to do the scene first. And oh, okay, we've got to switch someone's character, haven't we? So change, I think it's Neffel. So I believe it's Neffel who's in. So let's hope, fingers crossed, this works. Yay! It's worked, I think. Yay! There we go. So we've got Nethel's character up now. I've put the half mask version up because we did do 2 versions of him. We had a full pig mask on one and we had a half pig mask as well, so you could see his hair at the back, and a lot of people liked the look of that one, so I thought, yeah, well, might as well put that one in then. Isn't he a cutie pie? He's got a bit of his blonde spiky hair sticking out as well. Okay, my Monday's good. A little sour since it's my last day of vacation. Oh no. Well, I hope you've had a really good vacation and made the most of it. Did you do anything nice? Did you play any cool games? Battle damage? Okay, guys, so like I said, Wednesday we're going to think about this boss battle more narratively, because I think we've neglected that side of things. So, for example, how the actions you'll make in the battle will affect things to come, like the fruit that you leave last alive on the battlefield, for example. What difference will that make? We know already that the painting in the second phase will be different based on what fruit is last killed, so that's one thing. But there's potentially a lot of other things that it could affect too, like maybe items that drop, or even other things that could happen that we might not have considered. And I want to talk about that a bit more on Wednesday, but today we're going to finish the scene. So, meeting the fruit. We've finished Carol's flashback scene now, so now it's the second part of main quest 2, this scene. So all here, I've actually got the complete like dialogue from start to finish in a notepad file, and I haven't yet transferred the rest of it over to the end, so there's just a few little more boxes to add, and then I can actually put the scene together. And here it is on our lore Bible, if you want to remind ourselves what actually happens. It's here. Hi Ashik, Paul, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. Okay, I'll be lurking for a bit, as it seems some people actually want me to do some work today. Oh, Azriel's being good, doing work. We'll miss you, Azriel. Thanks for hanging out and for the support on the screenshot Saturday, by the way. All I've done is stayed at home and got caught up on some games, and it's been great. That sounds wonderful. That is the life. I definitely think that is the life, Dav. I hope that the games were fun ones. Good morning, afternoon or evening. Hi Van, how are you doing? It's good to see you. You have law, we do Andy Cake. This is what this game's all about. I want to try and make more of an effort to make people aware of the kind of RPG we're doing here. And I want to make sure people realise that it's a very lore-rich, moral dilemma, choice, consequence, branching paths kind of RPG, which is what's in the title now. So nobody misunderstands, and that the people that come here to hang out with us are the folks that love that kind of thing too, you know. Because it's more fun, isn't it, when everybody, all of us, are geeks about that kind of thing. Kaya Betsuart, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, guys. And how are you doing, Van, as well, Dave? I think I already asked you. I always forget. I'll always ask you guys about 5 times how you are when you come in. Still need to do the Sprite stuff. I was kind of lazy over the 4th of July holiday weekend. Yeah, so you should be. But yeah, no rush with your Sprite. I know that your character will probably be one of the early playable characters that join us, due to him being a healer class that we definitely need. But you've still got time. It'd probably be towards the end of the episode if we was going to meet him anyway. So no rush at all. Take your sweet time. Well, I was going to say something really important, but I forgot. But yes, okay guys, so goal of the day, we are finishing this scene from episode 1 part 2, which is main quest 2, the sacrifice. We are about at this point, where are we? So this scene covers all of this bit that I've highlighted. The Carol flashback part is literally just the first paragraph, but because this is the bulk of the scene. And we got to about here, and we're going to finish all today. And once we've done that, we can really have we'll have more of an idea of the battle properly, and we'll be able to make the correct narrative decisions with the battle, especially this key choice at the end here with the kill them or let them live choice. Without doing the scene properly and finishing it and being aware of all of it and stuff, what goes down, it can be a little bit, you know, if you don't know what's going on, because we're gonna, I really want our battles to be quite narrative, you know, and have the choices and consequence in them as well. And I really love that you guys actually set, like, because you were the ones, chat, who liked the idea of giving this choice at the end of the battle. We had a poll on it ages ago, and literally nearly everybody voted to have the choice of either kill them or let them live. So although you fight them, you don't necessarily have to, that doesn't necessarily mean they're dead when the battle's over, you know. You still get the choice to leave them alive or not. Whether that's going to be a theme, a consistent theme with all the bosses in the game, we don't know yet. I was thinking it'd be pretty cool if it was. It gives a bit of a unique factor to the way we approach our boss battles. I mean, in a way, Undertale kind of did something like that with the whole pacifist route thing. But it's interesting because whatever decision you make, kill them or let them live, it will affect your playthrough and what happens in your playthrough. We don't know yet how it will, but it'll be fun to plan together how it will change things. And some things we might not know or be aware of until episode 1 onwards. How it could affect things maybe, but some of the stuff could happen in episode 1 as a consequence from that choice, but some of it could happen in later episodes too. Yeah, I know I'm just holding myself accountable. I forgot the holiday was coming up, so I shall work on it very soon. No worries. And if we go down that road, we need to have a consequence on one of them at least. Like, it probably wasn't a good thing to let one of them live. We need to have a consequence on one of them at least, and it comes back to haunt the hero. Yeah, it's definitely... I kind of see as... either of the choices could come back to haunt the hero. Like, if there's a clear ideal choice, it makes it easy to know what the choice is you're gonna make. I like the dilemma of deciding which one to go for, because both of them will have their pros and both of them will have their cons as well. And but yeah, it's an all or nothing thing with the fruits. You either kill them all or let them all live. But the order that you kill them in the battle, I think, could be a thing. Like, if you actually kill, say, tomato first and apple last, though it could affect things. A random thing that came to my head was that Plum is known as the wizard guy. He's the one with all the wisdom. He's the clever one of the fruits, the purple plum. If you killed him first, maybe he says some dialogue, and it will affect your wisdom negatively. But if you kill him last, you can gain points in wisdom because he might say some dialogue that'll give you wisdom. That was like a thought of how it could affect your traits, and give plus or minus points to them. I love the idea of just lots of different things being affected from the different actions you take. Lots of replayability of things as well with that, and it just makes things a little bit more, you have to think. You can't just do things and it will affect you, the things that you do. I was randomly messing about in RPG Maker MV last night. I was messing about with the conditional branches and the variables and stuff. Let me get it up. And I tested it if it would work. So here they are. Here's our fruits. So I've got loads of battle event pages. And I've just put dialogue boxes there under each of the conditional branches for each of the fruits. So that's apple, that's lemon, and different things could happen or be affected based on the order you kill them in and who's the last one left alive. We knew that the last one left alive was going to matter anyway, because the painting will be different based on who's last alive. But even the order, I think the order of things could make it even more interesting too. And yeah, there's a lot of ways to take it, I guess. The traits and the plus and minus points in that was one. Items being dropped is another. NPCs in Lakefall, the way they treat you, who knows, maybe one of them really liked apple pies. And if you killed apple, it's just so much silly like that. But there's just endless possibilities for where we could take it. Not all the bosses should be a good idea to let live. That's cool. So did you find a tutorial for that somewhere? I kind of knew what I was doing, but I went on the RPG Maker forum to kind of sort something out, because there was a little thing I wasn't sure about, like the actual script, but it's all fine now, and I tested it in battle and it's pretty cool. It works. So we're definitely going to chat more about those sort of things on Wednesday, but let's finish the scene first. Not all the bosses should be a good idea to let live. Yeah, I think it's something I want to consider, just because of the way we're opening up choices and branches in our game. Obviously, it depends on the context of things, and if it's even going to be workable. Because some enemies and monsters will just have to die, no matter what. Otherwise, it might not work. You know, the plot will have a plot hole, perhaps. But I think it's an interesting thing to consider, because we've started it now with our very first boss, and it seemed like something people liked for the fruits. We'll have to just see what's possible when we do our future bosses. But still, I think having choices and consequences integrated in the boss fights, even if it's not letting them live, is still an interesting way to take things. It's a way to keep me passionate about the battle sides of the game as well, because it's the part I don't like as much, because it's so mechanical and mathsy, and I tend to start getting lazy at that side of things, and I kind of want to make sure I at least do something that's fun with it, so it keeps me motivated too. Okay, he's doing the drilling again. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah, he's drilling. Our neighbour is. He's doing lots of drilling. Okay, so yeah, we can. I can show a playtest of the dialogue boxes popping up just very quickly, actually, because I kind of want to show you guys. And then we'll get into the scene stuff. Animation wise, it's not there yet, but I'm thinking we'll deal with the hard stuff first, and the animations are something I can slowly add over the course of the month. So that's Tomato first killed. Now, oh, that drain that comes in way too early. I need to sort out the timing on that one. I also made the fruits just easier to kill, just for testing purposes, so that's why we're killing them in one hit here. Obviously in the real battle they're not going to be killed in one hit. Rose obviously won't be punching when she attacks. I've got to make sure we do the jump and bite thing there. So Apple's third killed there. So I just put the dialogue box there to test it, to show that it can kind of tell what's happening behind the scenes. Lemon shouldn't be saying that when he's dead. Also, they're still on the screen when they're dead at the moment. That has to be fixed too. So yeah, as you can see, that I managed to work it out so that the game, the RPG engine understands that, well, can tell who's being killed first and who's been kept alive last, which means that we've got the freedom to add a ton of variables that could affect things that happen. So it's quite cool that I managed to sort that bit out. Drilling all good, but maybe make sure to take a second to get water, stretch anything so the neighbour doesn't wear on you. I've got my water right here. So, I thought it'd be pretty cool if when they're killed, each fruit, they say a line of dialogue or something. And the dialogue could be changeable. Different dialogue could come up depending on what order they're killed in or something as well. Okay. So here's the scene. But before we get into the scene making, let's just make sure we've added all the dialogue in. So all this stuff bit part is done. Okay, here was the bit that needs changing, because obviously Blueberry isn't going to say it like that. He's a baby that can't talk properly. He don't know what conquering means. So this was going to be changed to something, I believe it was National Mars suggested a while back. I've got the notes here. I have this big notepad file up with all the notes that we had before, and I've put it all in a way that the scene's finished now. I just need to get it in these boxes. So yeah, here it is. So it was kumquat. I hate that word so much, but it's a fruit, isn't it? I believe it's a fruit or a vegetable, and it's so clever that it sounds like conquer, like kumquat mater. What I take it mate is just a made up word, which is a baby, so he'd say stuff like that. That's kind of what Blueberry's been doing throughout. He talks like a baby and kind of turns words into puns accidentally because he's a baby. He said, "We're really grateful he got a bed peeling." He's full of the puns, that Blueberry. So whenever he talks, he's not going to really talk in proper sentences. And then the idea from that point, because Blueberry talks straight after Lemon every time, because Lemon's like his daddy. He's like a father figure to Blueberry, and that's why Lemon protects Blueberry in battle as well. If you hit Blueberry first, he's very protective of him. So we're going to get all this dialogue into the scene as soon as we've got all the boxes in, and we're happy with how it all sounds. And then we'll do test plays of it and stuff as well. But at this point, Apple has basically said they've talked about their plans, and that they need Rose's blood. And Lemon is basically talking about how Apple is like noble and stuff because he has good intentions, which if anyone wants a closer look, we have it right here in the Law Bible, guys. We've got the full scene description there. And there's a little picture of the scene. So if you want to be updated on what is happening here, then that's what you need to read. Okay, so now we had Tomato here because he was going to say something, but to be honest, Tomato will probably talk a little bit later because what I've got here is Carol is the one to say something. Now I figured at this point Carol would have a bit of a freak out because she's like, what did he say? And then it all comes out about the plan. So it was actually Blueberry that screwed it up for the fruits. Holy bucket or holy buckets, I wonder. Like kumquat and mater. That sounds like conquer and murder, doesn't it? Okay, but here. Okay, so I've got here that plum. And obviously, guys, I'm interested in your feedback too. If anything, if you there's any if you come up with something really cool that you think could be a good fit, then yeah, be sure to give to let me know. So my idea here was that Plum would be like facing Blueberry at this point and being like, shh. Put faces Blueberry here. Because Plum has got a habit of being the one to keep the whole group very shush. He warned Tomato previously to shut up, because Tomato was gonna end up revealing the plan as well. Because Tomato's pretty aggressive and doesn't think before he speaks. So Plum told Tomato then, and now Blueberry's revealing stuff accidentally. So Plum is say 2 Blueberry here actually. Also, this stuff that's all here can be moved across because this is for the end of the scene. Pardon me. Just move that way across. It's sort of there, but there's a lot that needs to just be sorted out and tidied up with it. Because right now, Carol the Barrel is really the only person in our party that can have a conversation with the fruits. Because Rosie's mute, so she can't. And the hero only talks when there's a choice. Okay, so at this point, we'll use a blue square for the action. But yeah, guys, this is like all, like, I've taken some of the stuff you've suggested, like the kumquat and mate thing, which I thought was a really good way to get the truth out in a way where the fruits weren't being dumb and confessing their plans. Because, yeah, why would the people confess plans to people that don't know, you know? I like how it's all revealed accidentally. And some choices in dialogue for the hero would be cool, even if they both have similar results in discussion. Yeah, we have one coming up later on for the hero as well that I put up here. So that's an interesting one as well. And this section here where Carol says he means to conquer and murder, doesn't he? That could easily be the hero that says that. We don't necessarily have to have it be Carol. I think it's cool that Carol reacts though, to kind of like make us aware that, hang on a minute, what did he say? But this section here could be the hero if we wanted it to be, but we'd probably need another dialogue to go with it if we have the hero. Something else if it's the hero. That, you know, that would give you brave points probably. But the thing is, the thing that's difficult when we have the choice branches with the hero, you know, we got to use our brains to make sure the dialogue paths at least go to the same conclusion eventually, which we sort of did here, and it worked out quite well in the end. So in this section, Carol. So, hero draws weapon. So, if we decide to have the hero dialogue here instead of Carol saying it, it would have to lead to this point too, which is the challenge. So it's easier to just have Carol say it, because something like that, if she's like, he means to conquer and murder, doesn't he? Such a blunt and fearless dialogue line would clearly lead to them, you know, drawing our weapons. Whereas, say, if we had for the hero second option something like something cowardly or something where the hero doesn't care really what Blueberry's talking about, then why would that lead to confrontation? So also this is lagging a bit, so I'm going to turn the autosave off, because for some reason when I have autosave on it lags. So we'll sort that out in a sec. There. So for now we'll just keep it as Carol unless we have a smart idea. But it still works as Carol. We so far have 1, 2, and I think a third one up here. So we'll have 3 different hero dialogue choices in this scene. So it's still a decent amount. Okay, so Carol and the fruits. So Carol and the hero surround the fruits. Hero just draws weapon. Okay, so I had a load of dialogue suggestions from you guys when we were working on this scene last time, and I put them all in a notepad file together, and I've kind of tried to make as many of them as I can work in this part of the scene. So one of them was someone, I think it was National again, because National had all the puns, mentioned prickly pear and a trio, but not trio. Tree as in a tree, and then O. So I thought they were really clever, and I kind of wanted them in. So I thought of a way. I thought a cool way to get those fruit-themed puns, or forest-themed puns if it's trio, get them in, was to have the lemon kind of talk about Carol and the hero in that way. But Rose is going to join at this point. She's going to surround the fruits as well. And then he can be like, or trio. And then Blueberry can say the whole trio thing. You'll get what I mean, guys. You'll see what I'm trying to get at in a sec. Don't know if that's the right line, but basically Lemon has to say trio when Rose joins somewhere in his line. So many puns. How could I say no to them? Trio. It just was too good for Blueberry not to say that. All the puns, those were so much fun to make. Yeah, I particularly liked the prickly pear and trio one. There was something about them that I was like, how can we, because we've got a pair, we've got Carol and the hero, they're a pair, even Carol and Rose are the pair, and then we've got them all as a trio as well, if Rose is part of it as well. Are we getting lag on stream, guys? I think it's better now. Yeah, so having like Carol and the hero, and then yeah, I thought that could be a way to get them in. It seemed like the right part of the scene to have it as well when it's the confrontation. Now a little bit, yeah, it's strange. It randomly does that, not very often, but now and again it might lag for like 5 seconds, but I have no idea why it happens. It's like just random. But it's better than it used to be. Back like last year, I used to like lag all the time whenever I'd open a program. Okay, so now Tomato could do with speaking. So all this part now, it's literally gonna just, it's just part of the whole pre-battle section, and it's going to eventually lead to obviously the fight. We need to put all this again. There are a lot of puns in this scene though, and it's good. I think it fits the tone of this scene. Because it's all about the tone of things when it comes to puns. Like if there was like a sad scene or something very serious in tone, a pun might be out of place. But this is a very quirky and silly scene. And it fits the mood. Okay, so Tomato could say, now Tomato's a psychopath. We need to make sure that we show that off in his dialogue. So what we haven't yet done is actually talk about what the plan is. If we look in our Lore Bible, we have this. So we need to mention that now, and Tomato being the one to, he's not going to go into depth because he's not really got the intelligence to talk about the plan. He's just the aggressive one. He just cares about the violence, Tomato does. So he's going to just be like, and then it just leaves. Who is going to be the one that talks about the plan? At first I thought Plum, but being as he was so like, no children, don't tell them, it feels like Apple should be the one. He hasn't spoken for a while, and Apple's the one who is the most noble out of the group, so him being the one to admit the truth feels in character. Should we zoom in a bit for you guys, because I don't know if it's might have been a little bit zoomed out for you to see. If we got an M dash anywhere? Now, well, I think it explains in here, but the reason why Apple sticks around with this group is because he believes he's not really anything on his own. He's like only useful when he's in the group. He's very loyal to the group, and although he's the noble one, he's noble and they're not. He can't leave them because they come in as a bunch of fruits together. And yeah, he what can he do on his own? He'd be just a lonely apple. So that kind of just, because that was important, we need to make that plan clear, because we'd only had clues up until that point. We knew that they were up to something violent, wanting to conquer murder, and they had a red plan, delicious plan according to Tomato, because he's a psychopath. And Apple has been the one to admit what that plan is. So, okay. Now we're coming towards the last few lines before the fight now. Everybody's in position at this point. They're basically getting into position anyway. Because I want the position of the fruits, how this scene ends, to be the same as the position they are when the battle starts as well. Okay, so somebody as well had a really good pun. So I thought Carol could say it. And I'm not going to complain at Carol speaking a lot because she's the MVP at the end of the day. She has to be the star. They are literally all out of their baskets, so I don't know, I just liked that one because it works as an expression, but they are literally out of their basket as well. Yeah, she'll have a disgusted face. Okay, now the rest of it is what we've already got here, I think. I don't know why that tomato line's all up here. That's not... okay, so... Okay, so they're preparing for the fight, and obviously Lemon, as the tank of the group, he is going to be on the front with Tomato, as we know. So Apple tells him, Apple as the leader, I like to reinforce Apple's leadership when we can, will be the one to tell Lemon to do that. And then it's just another excuse to add a pun again. Blueberry's like the front line, and Lemon's like, I'm not a line dang nabbit, I'm a lemon, learn the difference. That was also a very glorious piece of dialogue I had to fit in. So, yeah, Lemon can be a bit tough love to Blueberry, but you know, he loves him, and he's going to make that clear in a minute when he pushes him back. So the next bit, yeah, probably Tomato now. Squeeze them. Yeah, it's her because it was just referring to Rose originally. But now they're all together, it could work as a threat to the whole group. So squeeze them until Okay, so that's just Tomato being a threatening maniac again. And there was a line for Carol that I thought could be good here. And then Lemon. I want to show that Carol's still selfish, you know, a bit. She's still she can still be a bit of a only looks out for herself sort of person, so. Because it is kind of true. Carol's not, they can't be squeezed like Rose and the hero can. She's just a barrel. She also doesn't have hair. And Lemon's like, no. I don't know if it should be gulp and ... but that's the only thing I can think of right now. Okay, now here we are. So last few dialogues. So yeah, Plum. He's not spoken a bit, so this is awful today. This is awful. Today's Blueberry's birthday. Okay, and this was, I remember this. Blueberry at this point, once we know it's his birthday, hence the birthday hat. Blueberry is like, yeah, it's my birthday, and for my gift I want your... And we could not figure out what Blueberry would want for his birthday, because originally it was blood. But blood has been mentioned so much in this scene, and you know, it just wouldn't have enough of an impact if he says that at this point. It kind of would lack the... It's an interesting decision, because we had a few. Some of them felt a bit like nectar might be a bit out of his vocabulary. We want it, if we're going to do it, we're going to want it to be, to have some, we want it to make sense or have impact somehow. So yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, my thought was something really silly and childish for Blueberry, but Blueberry is also evil, so we could go for something really sick and twisted as well. But your boogers. Don't ask, it's the first thing I've thought of. Your boogers. It's very childlike. And yeah, we could go for something really dumb and like out the blue as well for what the gift is he wants, like a toenail. I know that's might make no sense, but you know, something like that where it's just so random and weird. But yeah, I'm still a bit not knowing now what Blueberry could want for his birthday. With it being a good sentence, you know. Okay. And at this point, Lemon, how this can go, we don't need this anymore. Just pop that there. As far as what he wants from the hero, yeah, he's just, we got to think of the mind of a child with Blueberry, because he doesn't understand the consequences of what really is going on. So he's gonna, it would just be something really like random and either very violent or something very childish that I could imagine that word being in that gap. It's just a hard one. I mean, we had a few ideas here, but I'm just not sure. That one, to me, it's a bit too complicated for his vocabulary. And all the others, to me, just don't really add enough. Like, ideally, I want us to be like, oh my god, Blueberry, like have that kind of reaction. Like, Blueberry, I'd be shocked. But none of the ones here are like, whoa, they just don't really add anything extra. And I think that's because it's already been pretty violent, this conversation already. We've had Tomato being really violent with his wording, saying things like squeeze them, drain them, pulp them, purify them, juice you from the inside out. And so he's been so violent throughout this that anything Blueberry could say now wouldn't compare, really, or wouldn't be enough of a shock value. So it has to, maybe we need to like turn it around into something that you just wouldn't expect him to say. For my birthday, I want you to dance. Yeah, something just so random. I think like that could actually work better at this point than something violent, because something violent just isn't enough of a shock value at this point. We've come to expect violence from these fruits now, you know. So something's really silly or random, I think, could be the perfect word to go in that blank. And I'm gonna add your suggestion here to the top as well, Van. My idea was boogers, but that's literally boring compared to what some of you would probably suggest, in all honesty. So I know we can get better. But yeah, I want you to dance. It's just very random. But something random would be great. I'm up for hearing definitely more suggestions, but that's something of that sort of, you know, is kind of what I think we should go for, because fighting is like a dance. Yeah, that's true as well, seeing it from that perspective, like the actual fight being a dance. And it's something you could imagine a toddler saying, I guess, because we have to be from a child's we'll just put that there so we know. So it's looking like if we don't get any more ideas, we'll probably go with that one, because the whole blood thing insides, and we've already said all that. Tomato said all that earlier on. Okay, so we'd just be being really repetitive if we had more stuff like that. I want you to go squish. Yeah, that could also work too. We're still going with the violent theme there, but in a more childish way. And in a way where it's weirdly cute, but not cute at all because of the consequences of it all. It's horrible. But when Blueberry's saying it, it's like cute. And it's like, no, it isn't cute, Blueberry. It's terrible. Or he could say, I want you to jiggle. Yeah. I like the squish one for Blueberry. I think it fits something I could imagine him saying. Okay, so then after Blueberry has said what he's had to say, Lemon pushes Blueberry to the back row and says, plant yourself here, because he's looking out for him. He wants him to be safe. And then we get the hero. This is literally just before the battle now. This is it, guys. So the hero gets his dialogue choice. I thought about expanding on the second one a bit and saying something like, for the added violence from the hero, so we have no sympathy for Apple at all here. He's just like, yeah, we'll cut you into slices, you know. The only thing is, saying you will be cut into slices, if he's a warrior and has an axe, yeah. If he's a hunter, however, he can't be cut into slices. So the dialogue would change depending on what your class is. We will, how would we word it for bow and arrow? You will be poked into slices. That doesn't work. But you know what I mean, that we wouldn't use the word slice. I mean cut, sorry. Or maybe we could. Maybe I'm just overthinking. Because it definitely fits for axe to cut something into slices. I'm just thinking, does it fit with a bow and arrow hero? Because if not, we'll have to just alter the wording of that for the hunter. For my gift, please let me squish you. That's a good one. We'll let you ripen our cellars until you're willing to give us rose. Ooh. But yeah, that I like that one, but could it go earlier? Because I feel like all the rows at conversation happened earlier on, but then things got really like, as soon as the secret got revealed, it just was like, no, that's it now. When it comes to Rose, we're gonna have to kill these guys because they're psychopaths. It kind of turned into that, but I do like the squish one, so I feel like we should add it. You'll be skewered for the bow guy. That could fit. So shall we do that one first? So come one step closer and you will be cut into slices. Come one step closer and you will. So just skewered or skewered into slices, what do you reckon would fit for that? Because yes, we gotta make sure that we gotta remember that we've got two different hero types and not all of the threats would work depending on whether you're a warrior or hunter. So it's always good to be aware of that sort of thing. And then Apple's just like, sorry human, I have to stick. Or instead of have to, maybe must will sound better there. sounds more like duty when it's must, but have to sounds like obligation. I must stick with my family. Without them, I am nothing. And that's like placebo reference now. I was thinking of having it without them, I am nothing, but a something apple or something, like turn it into a sort of metaphor or that describes how he's nothing. But if we want to just be simple, we can just say that. Just skewered because it means to be pierced with, or you could use skewered by my arrows. Yeah, I like being more descriptive and mentioning the arrows. Awesome. And he says the same thing no matter what, whether you say that the mean one or the nice one. All it really does at this stage is affect your compassion, but who knows if it affects other things down the line. If you keep them alive, there is a chance to meet them again in the future at some point, perhaps. So let's revisit our dialogue. Yeah, that line was, it's a decent one, National. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a place for it, but I'll keep it just in case, but I'm not sure if there will be. Because the thing is, we need to at some point come to conclude it, otherwise we could literally go on forever. But there was definitely a lot of puns and really witty lines that I definitely wanted to fit in that were too good not to have, so I'm glad that we kind of extended the banter a bit rather than just had a battle straight away once we knew they were up to no good. Just makes nice to have a bit of character development with them. Okay, so I think that's it now. I haven't put the arrows there for the ones on the end, but I'll leave that for now. We don't need to waste time doing that. We want to do the scene. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that's saved so we don't want to lose it. But I'm glad we've got all the foundation of the scene and the dialogue there now. And we'll see how it all sounds and how it all is when we've put the scene together as well. Because we might feel like things need a bit of a reword if in the scene when we do test plays, if it doesn't sound natural enough. But from what I see here, what we've got works as far as I can see. Did we change the squish thing? I can't remember if we did. No, we didn't. Let's do that. So, oh, I missed National's line earlier as well. Since it's my birthday and I feel nice today, juice only their lower half, but not violence, not violence. Juice only their lower half. Yeah, I think that's great. Tomato could say that, I think. He tends to be more violent than Apple, I think. I mean, than Blueberry. Oh my gosh, I'm getting their names up. He's like the one who makes violent threats, whereas Blueberry's still violent, but in a very, very childlike way, where it actually sounds really innocent. But I do like that line as well. I'm going to keep it though, just in case we feel it needs a change. Because what we've got here, it works for now as a foundation, but you never know. We might want to alter it a touch if we feel So I've got them now because I don't want to lose them, just in case. I'm not sold on it either. Preferably the line would be a pun, not necessarily violent and shocking for a blueberry to say. Yeah, I think the whole please let me squish you is probably the best one we have so far because it fits with Blueberry's personality. It sounds innocent but also violent at the same time. Almost polite, saying please as well. And for my gift, please let me squish you. All I know is that for my gift, I want your blood just wouldn't have had the impact. Considering tomatoes being so violent, it's like nothing in comparison. But yeah, if Blueberry was a bit older, I think, say if it was tomatoes, but I think that would have been an absolutely perfect line. The juice only the lower half one, because he'd be old enough to actually understand what being nice is, and he's a bit more. But Blueberry, he probably doesn't really get the concept of being nice. He's kind of just experienced this chaos throughout all his life. They've not been very good role models to him. Poor little guy. Okay. So I'm happy that we've got... It's weird because sometimes I use brackets and sometimes I use asterisks, and I like to make sure I'm consistent. So, okay. So I like that we've got this scene kind of getting there now. So we need to remind ourselves where we left off. We'll probably do a test play in a sec. I think we was here. I think we had the part where we were faced with the choice of what to do with Rose. So that's where we got. So we've not really got that far. And that's because that first half of the scene was very tricky with them coming out the basket. But I think that now we've got all the dialogue in place, I think doing the rest of the scene's not going to be too time consuming because it's mainly just talking. There's not really much action happening between the talking, so I can't see it being super time consuming. So we'll make sure it's saved and we'll start putting it in. I think we could get a decent amount done before the end of the stream. And hiya Avenger, how are you doing? Welcome, hope you're having a good day. Lemon should be teaching Blueberry politeness inside of this conversation. That way when he says please let me squish you, it's because Lemon has made sure Blueberry is polite. That's a very good observation actually, like the fact that maybe Blueberry uses the word please because Lemon taught him that, and to kind of give a hint like that Lemon's the one that's done that, so elsewhere would be pretty cool, because right now we won't even recognize that at this point. So I would definitely be up for sliding a little line somewhere where Lemon kind of is like teaching Blueberry to be polite, just in a way it fits with the conversation. It still keeps a flow, you know, as long as it doesn't ruin the flow of the conversation we've got, then yeah, that could work for sure. I'm trying to think if there's a point where that could work. I'm trying to think, where has Blueberry been a little bit rude? If he's been a little bit rude anywhere in this scene, that could be the point where Lemon's like tells him or something. And hi Raider, what are you doing today? It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Nice blue name, by the way. That's a pretty blue colour. Enforces that Lemon is the father figure for Blueberry for sure. I think we've subtly been doing a good job of that, but I'm definitely up for showing that as much as possible because I'm a real fan of this little relationship they've got, and I think it's very parallel to Hank and Oliver. The fact that he, like, in the fight protects him reminds me of when Hank protected Oliver. Okay, so yeah, he kind of sticks up for Blueberry there. Oops, no. So we're reinforcing the, basically in the scene, I want to make sure Lemon and Blueberry are literally always together. They're like inseparable. So if we can really make that clear in the scene as well, then that would be awesome. So he's quite harsh to Blueberry in this particular line where he's like, I'm a learn the difference. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because I believe he's a tough love kind of father figure to Blueberry. But we want to show like affection. I mean, we've showed affection here where he's stuck up for Blueberry. What about the point where he talks about the kumquat and mater? Yeah, because he's been, I'm looking through all this now, and out of all the lines, the kumquat and mater one is the most shocking because it means conquer and murder. He just can't pronounce it properly because he's a baby. Bless him. But Lemon, I could imagine being like, well, we got a reaction from Plum here. Plum's like, no, child, shh. And that's perfect for Plum's character because Plum is the secretive one. He's kind of shushed the children previously for not revealing the plans. But it could work if we have a Lemon line in between Plum and Carol somewhere where Lemon says something else. Like somewhere here in between, where he kind of emphasizes, like, so we're more clear that he's the father figure of Blueberry. And if we can do that and show that Lemon's the one that teaches him how to be polite, then when he says please here, we'll understand that he got his manners from Lemon. I mean, Lemon is the second nicest of the group after Apple. I think that's pretty clear to us, that he is the second nicest. And it's things like that. It's Lemon being a really sweet Lemon who is a nice father, and Apple being noble, which might make some players want to keep the fruits alive at the end of the battle. And I think if there's dialogue in that battle happening, I mean, not in an intrusive way, of course, but say every time you kill one of them, just, you know, one popping up then, it could kind of, it would, I think it would be really cool if there was an emotional impact with that choice, you know, rather than it just be a, you know, there for no reason. And if you're not polite, we won't give you presents. Yeah, your presents. Yeah, well, let's have a look. So is polite the right word? Saying kumquat and mater, he's basically confessed. He's confessed the plans by being very naive and not realising the consequences of what is just revealed. So I don't know if polite's the right word, but there's definitely a word there that I think Lemon could say. If you're not, I'll leave a gap for now. I'm not saying polite doesn't work, it could, but I'm wondering if there's another word where we could we won't give your Should we stick to gifts for consistency? Considering Blueberry says later for my gift, please let me squish you. Like that's the word he's familiar with, gift. So we'll. So many dialogue boxes. I'm like, where are we? There we go. So if you're not something, we won't give you your gifts. So polite's one potential word we could have, but so we'll put to Blueberry so we know. Respectful, that's a good one actually. Hi Muffin Manster, how are you doing today? It's lovely to see you. Up having a wonderful day. So I'm going to get the thesaurus up just to say all the words. I mean, that's the best one, I think. But we'll see what there is. So we've got, yeah, polite there, well-mannered, civil. Civil's another. Civil could work. I mean, is that a bit complicated to say the word civil to a child? It's just that, yeah, I mean, the respectful's fine. I'm just thinking. And courteous, that's another one too. And hi Master Emerald, how you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you, I love it too. Yeah, it makes me think of muffins, and muffins are like one of the yummiest cakes ever. Let's face it. I always try to make muffins when I bake, but they end up being more like scones. But they are good. Respectful is a good word. I like its simplicity, and I think whatever word it is that we use, it has to be simple, so that, because it is a child, that Blueberry's a child, so a toddler basically. So so basically whatever Lemon says, it follows with Carol saying he means to conquer and murder, doesn't he? So Carol's not falling for any of it. She knows what he meant. But Plum and Lemon are trying to mask it, aren't they? They're being like, no, you be nice. Don't reveal anything to the bad people. That's kind of what they're being like. But Carol can see behind the manipulation. And also, let me get it up, because I'm sorry, guys, but I realised it was hidden. Here we go. Doing good today, just lurking while I script. How are you? Doing good, Master Emerald. We're actually just finalising the dialogue for one of the scenes that we need to polish and finish up. So, it's mostly done now. We're just kind of just finalising it, and then we'll just be getting the scene put in, and it's exciting, because this is a pretty good scene, isn't it, guys? Lots of fruit puns. Civil, yeah, civil definitely struck me as a good word to have here, and the reason for that is because I feel it fits best with the murder threat. Like, if someone threatens to murder you, imagine if your child threatened to murder a bunch of people that they don't really get on with. You'd be like, if you're not civil, I feel like civil fits best there rather than respectful. Because being civil is something you do with your enemies, isn't it? You try to be civil with them, even though you might not get on with them. Because let's face it, this crew haven't been that respectful in general to the group. I mean, Lemon himself hasn't been that respectful. He was there, but he wasn't in other parts of the conversation. But I'd say he's tried to be civil. Tomato hasn't, though. Tomato should be the one that gets told off. Poor Blueberry. Or we could say, if you're rude, we won't give you your gifts. If you're disrespectful, we won't give you a gift. But rude is a nice short word. Yeah, I actually agree. I think that's what I think we need. Something really short and sweet for talking to Blueberry. Because he's a child. And hi Faceless, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your Monday's treating you well. So, if you're rude, yeah, I like it. I like the simplicity of that sentence. Sometimes it's easy to make something wordy, isn't it? But sometimes simplicity works best. So yeah, that's great. So I'll have to move everything across if we're going to fit that on, and I can't be bothered to do that for now, so we'll just leave it there and we'll begin the scene. Yeah, but with these kind of adults, what they do and what they think a child should do can be two different things. True. But you in agreement that rude's a good one? I think so. I think so. I'm good. I'm swimming with my boyfriend right now. Are you? Are you on your mobile? Are you swimming? That's fun. It's been ages since I've been swimming. I want to go now. Okay, so save. Right, so first of all, how about we watch the scene, guys? We'll remind ourselves where we left off. And then we'll just continue to build it until it's finished. And I think that when it's finished, it's going to be much easier to 100% concentrate on the boss battle, because we'll have filled in all those gaps. We'll know how all the scene went down, and it'll be much easier to think narratively what will be said in the battle as well. I never learned how to swim. Oh no. Yeah, how old was I when I learned? I forgot now. It's been absolutely years since I have though. Oh right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have a bad habit of assuming gender sometimes. I need to stop because it's a bad thing. So yes. Forgive me, Faceless. Okay, so let's do the scene. We'll do this one. I suck at swimming. I can stay afloat for a bit, but that's about it. I mean, I can swim, but I'd still rather have a dinghy, to be honest. It's all good. Most people think I'm a woman because I'm very feminine. Yeah, and you be what you want to be, for sure. But thank you for letting me know, so I won't be making that mistake again. Okay, so the sound's muted in game, by the way, so that we won't have any sound distractors. To be honest, I don't think we added sound effects properly to the scene. Yeah, we might have, but I can't remember. Okay, so Carol is still calling Rose Cruncher at the moment. I remember I changed that name to Parasite. But I don't know whether they would work for that part. Oh, okay, here we go. They're cute when they move, they like bounce and wobble. I can't wait till the group I swim with goes back to it. My friend and brother use tails and it looks really cool. What do you mean by tails? What are tails? I can float, or at least I could when I was a kid. It's been a while since I've tried. LOL, we typically hike if we decide to do anything outdoors. Oh. Yeah, I never go outdoors, very rarely. I don't swim either, I just like to float. Yeah, it's relaxing. It's relaxing to just float. I hope you're having a good day. That sounds fun. And thanks for popping into the stream while you having a blast. Oh, mermaid style tiles. Oh, really? That's interesting. Afraid to go underwater. I'm the same because whenever I've gone underwater, I always close my eyes. I have this fear of getting water in my eyes. For some reason, I think that if I open my eyes when I'm underwater, it'll go up my eyes and my head will explode. I have a fear that's gonna happen. It's horrible. I just don't think it would feel very nice in my eyes. So I just always close them. I'd only open them if I had goggles on. Okay, so ooh, we need to put that a line up. Okay, so I think that's as far as we got. So it looks like there was not really any errors or anything buggy about that, really. Apart from the last line with Carol, we need to move it up one. Holding breath, then anything else though? And it's claustrophobic for you guys. It's funny, isn't it, how we all have our reasons? Because for me, it's definitely going up my eyes. I don't even know why that bothers me. Maybe it's because I wear contact lenses sometimes. But obviously I wouldn't wear them if I was in the water. That would be not very smart. I haven't worn my contact lenses in ages though, to be honest. Can you imagine seeing that happen for entirely that reason? What happened to your friend? They opened their eyes underwater. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's not affected anyone else. Like, nobody else's head has exploded from going underwater. So why would it happen to me? It's very strange. Okay. Yeah, I think the crunch sounds fine, but maybe that means I have to change the wording of the previous scene again, though. For consistency, but I'll do that another time. Okay, so next part, so I'm gonna just go back to, I think so we were here. No, we were way back. We were here. Okay, so Rose is going to smile now, and Carol's going to be like, no, ugh, don't smile. Interestingly, you can get prescription goggles. My mom's planning to get those. Ooh. See, if I'm going to go underwater, yeah, it'd be with goggles on, but I don't like how they make you get, like, they're, like, really tight on your eyes, and then you get marks on your eyes. I'm just weird and fussy. Okay, so we need a happy face Rose expression, so I think we might have that already. Let's see. So yeah, Rose must be event 10. Oops, damn it. Yeah, I accidentally deleted something then. No, Carol's event 10. Yeah, Rose's event 9. So this is how the cutscene creation stuff works in RPG Maker, if you've not seen it already, guys. It's all just a bunch of text boxes and movement routes and things like that. It's not too bad at all. Yeah, we've already got a smiley face for Rose, so at this point Rose is going to smile no matter what Carol says, because Carol has said at this point that we need her, and Rose is like, yay, I'm needed, I'm loved. And Carol soon like puts her in a place, so we'll put that in now. And she'll have that face. And have to do a thing to make certain text italics. I think that's fine. I have to make sure I save it a lot. Is there a yuck animation for Rose? There probably will be. There's basically a sprite sheet of face expressions. The head is bald on all the expressions, so that you can put it onto any character you like. And I usually grab one of those faces and just kind of blend it over Rose's sprite whenever I want to give her a face expression. And there's quite a lot of choice. There's quite a few different ones there. We should probably have a look at them all. At some point. Do you think there's a part where Rose could have a yuck face then, National? Can we script her to make disappointed face after biting a fruit she detests? Oh, what fruit would she detest? I'm curious now. And do you mean in battle, National, or in this actual cutscene? Because she bites the fruits in battle, that's for sure. And as for facial expression, the battle expressions. See, the battle expressions are a bit more tricky because they have to actually be on the battler sprite sheet, and I don't know if there's as many choice for battler expressions as there is for sprite expressions, but then there might be some. In battle meat and maybe lemon, yeah, because it's bitter. I have to see what there is, but I think we are limited with expressions in battle in general because there's only a certain amount of slots on a battle sprite sheet, and most of those are poses, but I haven't really done my research into the different expressions in battle really. So who knows, there might be a way around it, but I'm not 100% sure. It'd be a one-time joke, yeah, especially if there was like some dialogue, because my idea was, guys, that there would be some dialogue pop-ups each time when each fruit is killed, and depending on the order that the fruits are killed in, the dialogue might be different. And because I kind of like the idea, I'll talk about it more tomorrow with the battle, because there was some ideas I had with the battle to like actually bring choice and consequence in more, other than just the choice at the end with the kill them or let them live, but have it throughout the battle as well, based on the order you kill the fruits in. It could even just be really small things, like, for example, keeping the plum alive till last will give you some more wisdom points, because Plum's wise and he might like say something at the end that he wouldn't say if you killed him earlier on. And it'd be a bit of a one-time joke. Yeah, I think that'd be a nice touch and quite funny. But yeah, I'll look into that one and see how the battle sprite sheets all work when it comes to expressions. Okay, so yeah, Rose Happy Face, done that one. Yeah, disappointed Rose Face now, so we'll probably just do a bunch of dialogue and then do another play test in a bit. Every time we add a bit more, just to make sure it looks good and everything's working. Okay, tomatoes back. Now, yeah, I think at this point, to be honest though, it probably makes more sense to do that at the end, so we don't have the repeated unnecessary dialogues with Rose and Carol. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is an interruption dialogue, because Tomatoes in the middle of talking is like saying, who cares what the old lady wants, use her pulp and toss the rest so we can. And then Plum interrupts and he's like, no, shut up. So there we go. But Plum would never say shut up, he's too polite. Plum's probably the politest, but usually the polite one's the biggest psychopath sometimes. Or one of the biggest psychopaths. Because Plum definitely is a psychopath. I forgot what his trope was that we gave him now. might be an evil genius or something. Okay, so now at this point, we get it branching into 3 paths. So we get some different dialogue based on what the hero says here. So compassion, wisdom and bravery for each one. So let's get the choices in first. We'll delete the old ones. Back, what do you do now? Welcome back then. We're just putting the scene together. We're just slowly adding all the dialogue boxes and all the choice boxes we need. And we'll move the fruits into the positions that need to be moved in and stuff. And then we're going to just try and do as much as the scene as we possibly can. Today we'll be doing some test plays to see how it all looks. And that'll be really good job done, because I was thinking like this cutscene would be next week's job. That was the plan, to do it next week and focus on the battle this week. But we can start the battle stuff from Wednesday. We still have the scene after the fight to do as well, so we've still got that to do, which will be fun. Because that will be when Rose does the painting. And the fruits will either have died or run away. Okay, so the first choice is we don't have to be strangers, let's be friends, and that gives 1 point to compassion. The second choice is don't fear us, we're just here to give Rose to you. And that's a wisdom point, because you're being a little bit smarter by by calming them down and kind of giving in to what they want, which is Rose. You're not like being full on aggressive or anything, but the third one's the aggressive option. That one's if you're up to no good, I'll have to stop you, which is a bravery point. I mean, some of these might not just affect the 1 point, you know, like something like if you're up to no good, I'll have to stop you. That could be a loss of wisdom points as well, because it's a little bit dumb to perhaps be that aggressive, but it's definitely brave. But just because you're brave doesn't mean you don't have to be wise as well, you know. When it comes to the sort of heroes that can be shaped from this, there's like, how many combinations? Oh, I'm rubbish when it comes to maths, but there's 3 different. There's compassion, wisdom and bravery. You can be top of the compassionate scale, top of the wisdom, top of the bravery, or you can be, yeah, I'll have to count up the combinations because I can't think right now, but there's definitely a few. Okay, so we'll save that one now. So which one should we do first? We'll start with the compassion route first. So it's Lemon who talks first in this one. So the differences, let's just have a little peek at what the difference is between what happens in each path. And they all lead to the same thing eventually, which is let's avoid making enemies here. Apple kind of calming down the situation. It all ends there in the end, but what's said in between is it reveals different things about the fruits. In the brave route, you learn more about tomato, In the compassion route, you learn... Oh, in the compassion route, Carol is actually nice to you and has your back. And in the wisdom route, Lemon shows his kindness and gratefulness. So there's a little bit of different things revealed in each. So I'm trying to find a Lemon dialogue box to copy and paste. And Lemon's like, the heroes offered to be friends, and Lemon's like, friends? I don't trust you humans. You baked Blueberry's mother into a pie. So we've learned that Blueberry's mother died. Baked it into a pie. But who would have done that? Because, well, it wasn't us, obviously, but maybe one of the Lakefall NPCs did it. Maybe the owner of the cafe or tavern place, because that would be where people eat. I do wonder, if you do keep them alive, how that will come back to haunt the player. Will they eventually conquer Lakefall if you do keep them alive? That's the question. How will they affect the world is the big question. Interesting, because we haven't really talked about that much, like what the real consequences are going to be. We did like sort of mention there might be a side quest later on if you kept them alive where you can meet them again, but we haven't really discussed that much at all. But it is intriguing to know what the real, how things will come back to haunt you. But I like the idea of not just the keeping them alive thing potentially being bad, maybe killing them could be bad in some way too. You know, and maybe a lizard person, a two-legged person is a two-legged person to the fruits. A few of the reptiles love blueberry pie. Yeah, like the reptiles live in the cave below Lightfall, so they're like not as out in the open right now. I feel like the Lakefall humans are the privileged ones that the fruits would hate the most, because that's why they're going to Lakefall to conquer rather than conquer the cave where the reptiles are. And there's a reason for that. Like why go to Lakefall, why not the cave? But I guess it's because they see them as maybe the privileged ones. There's really probably not much to be jealous of the reptiles in the cave. Don't know if they'd be living a cushy life in there. But yeah, it's interesting because the reptiles once conquered Lakefall as well, and now the fruits are doing the same behaviours as what the reptiles once did. But yeah, if we were going to have reptiles be that, we would have to change that bit as well, because obviously reptiles aren't humans. But yeah, this definitely fits being targeted towards humans, because you're a human and Rose is a human. Carol's not a human though, and that's why she has our back a little bit here. She sticks up for the flashbacks. These luxury caves, yeah. poor Blueberry, his mummy got baked into a pie. But yeah, I'm just a nerd for detail, and it's just such a small line of dialogue, but now I want to like make sure that one of the NPCs, ideally at Lakefall, I guess, was responsible for this. And if they ever do come back and you did keep them alive, maybe Lemon, maybe they get their revenge on that person who baked Blueberry's mother into a pie. That specific person will get murdered by them if you keep them alive. Who knows? Okay. Now, Blueberry jumps happily at this point, which I kind of, Blueberry doesn't understand the consequences of death. Like, Blueberry probably doesn't even know that his own mother was baked into a pie. So Blueberry's just like, I don't know if he even jumps at this point. He doesn't talk at this point, but he jumps. So he is event 15. So let's find event 15. I have to copy that one and delete all the extra stuff. So we'll have him jump like 3 times or something there. Jumps happily. What's the current list of NPCs at Lakefall? We can make a new one just for this if need be. Yeah, I could see us, I mean, we haven't fleshed out the Lakefall NPCs at all. So any of them could be the one that did it, there's very little story there with them right now. So I think we could easily find someone to make it work with. But I'm really excited about when we do that, when we flesh Lakefall out more, because we can consider stuff like this. We can get all the facts about the world that we know, gather these little lines, things like, oh, somebody baked Blueberry's mother into a pie. Oh, somebody else did this. Oh, someone that, and all these little things we know. Makes the world just feel more. I'm a big fan of like little lines of dialogue actually meaning something, like something that seems so casual and like it was just added there for funsies actually means something and is there for a reason. So something as like little as, oh, somebody baked his mother into a pie is actually gonna be a thing. It wasn't just put there for funsies. There actually is someone that baked Blueberry's mother into a pie. Okay, so Blueberry jumps happily, and Tomato then comes in and is like, and you turned my brother into juice. So somebody turned Tomato's brother into juice. Where's that tomato juice then? Who in Lakefall? And then Carol will pipe in and be like, look, I don't trust flesh bags either, but this wasn't the one that ate your mother and brother. So Carol's sticking up for us, which is lovely. Nice, Carol. And we know that there was someone that is responsible for eating them, but we don't know who it is yet. But I assume that they want to conquer Lakefall. A big reason of why they want to conquer Lakefall is to get their revenge on all the humans that ate their fellow fruits. Okay. So, Tomato's line of dialogue. Maybe Tomato is really upset that his brother was killed and turned into juice because his brother was the only one that protected him from all the bullies that told him he wasn't a real fruit. Maybe he was his big brother, he really looked out for him, and he was a really, really strong Tomato. But now he's dead, and Tomato that's why he turned emo. You know, there's always a story for everything. Oh, it could have happened during a recent festival and everyone had a slice and everyone had a glass. Oh my goodness, yeah, like a big event, a party. And there was like this buffet and then there's tomato juice on, you know, on the side on the buffet, and there's also a blueberry pie. Oh my goodness me. How tragic. Like, to the fruits, that is like despicable that their family were turned into mash and all the fruits that they cared about. But to the people at Level, they're just having a good time. They don't realise that these fruits were brought to life and are sentient. And you turn my brother into juice. But I think that's a really smart idea. To have had some sort of festival or event for some reason. Maybe it can tie in with the time of year. I mean, remember we were going to build some lore around the world's festivals, because we haven't done any of that yet. Big question marks about what festivals are in our world. But it would be a really interesting time to have a sort of seasonal gathering. Maybe, well, it was in the past, of course, but maybe during some dialogue conversation that could be mentioned in passing, perhaps, that event happened. Okay, so you turn my brother into juice. Now Carol speaks. Because the way that Tomato and Lemon are wording that, they're like, I don't trust you. You baked blueberries more into a pie. You turned my brother into juice. They're just tarring all humans with the same brush. Like, they see us as the same people that did it, which I can't really blame them. But yeah, Carol's right. It wasn't us. Okay. Maybe rather than turning into juice, say squeezed into juice or squeezing. Yeah, that sounds more violent as well and appropriate for Tomato's way of speaking. You squeezed my brother into juice. Yeah, good observation, Van. If we can get more descriptive like that and it fits for the character's voice, then it's definitely and you squeeze my brother into juice. So that's been changed. I'll change it on this section as well. I think that Tomato, yeah, poor Tomato's so traumatised that he talks about it here as well. We're gonna juice you from the inside out. He's obviously thinking about what happened to his brother in that line, and he wants to do the same to us. Yeah, and then he says squeeze them until they're drained and dried. It's like kind of really got to him. And all he thinks about now is squeezing us in the same way we squeezed his brother. I actually feel bad for Tomato in a weird way. Or for Tomato, just like many cans use the word crush. Oh, thank you for that follow, Ross Script Writing. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Okay, just like many cans use the word crush. Where? Crushed my brother into juice, you mean? Is that what you mean? Replies squeeze with crush. Just want to make sure I'm getting it. We're going to crush you from the inside out. Oh, yeah. Now that could work. So you don't have to use the word juice all the time. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we don't want to be too repetitive. Good point. Okay, so now it's the Carol dialogue. So she's like, look, I don't trust flesh bags either, but this wasn't the one that ate your mother and brother. Okay. We're going to blend you up and spit you out. Yeah, that sounds gross, but that's perfect. We want it to be gross, don't we? Yeah, in fact, I'm kind of with you there because it's more fitting, I think, than crush to say blend. It's more fitting with a liquid. Or like something that's, you know, not a solid. So I like all this variety of violent words that Tomato uses. I think we're, I mean, what was this one? I want to carve them and see if they contain seeds. Yeah, we couldn't really decide what that would say. Let's think. So I want to carve them and see if seeds fall out. Would that work? Contain might be a bit advanced for Tomato's vocabulary. Yeah, okay, so that's probably, I mean, if we could make that sound more violent, then I'm not gonna be against that at all, because we could always push that further perhaps, but it could work. I want to carve them and see if seeds fall out. Oh my goodness, Willow Scale, thank you so much for that raid. Hello everybody, welcome. How did your stream go? Let's give a shout out. Hello guys, thank you so much for raiding me with your lovely awesome community. How was Elder Scrolls Online today? What did you get up to? And hi how would I pronounce your name? Let me know. Welcome to the stream, thank you for joining in the raid. Rakeel, is that it? Welcome to the stream. We are doing some scene work today, guys, on our RPG that we're making. Feel free to ask us any questions if you're curious. But I hope you're having a good Monday, guys. Tried your hands at PvP and got my butt kicked all day. You're brave. You're braver than I'll ever be. I'll never play PvP because I'm too scared, because I'm terrible. Hi Rihanna, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. What do the seeds fall out? Yeah, that, I could think that could be a better way to word that dialogue actually, because yeah, Tomato probably would think that they've got seeds. I want to smash them into a gooey mess. That's a good set for this. Yeah, have we used the word smash yet? We might not have. If we haven't, then yeah. What do you reckon, guys, about that line then? Do you reckon should go for the smash them? Do you think that that's not a violent enough one then? I feel like it could be more violent for sure. Smash them into a gooey mess sounds more violent. And we need to think as well, because Tomato's a teenage emo boy. I mean, look at him. He's a teen emo boy, so he's going to talk like a bit of a... His vocabulary isn't the most advanced. He's going to just use like very violent language and very childish in a way. Thank you for the command, National Mars. Yeah, we do have a website, folks. If you're curious and want to have a peek, we recently added an FAQ page. So if you want to have a nosy, feel free to. I need the tinkle potty soon. It's all this water. Smash them, smush them, throw them in a stew, boil them up and bake. Go. Yeah, okay, that is kind of exactly what I think we should do, because I've wanted to make sure Tomato just sounds so excited about being violent, like express the enthusiasm, and I think something like that does a good job, especially if we're going to have him run around. So yeah, something sing-song. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's sing-song, isn't it? Like, you could imagine him actually singing that. That is best. Thanks, guys. National and Van, you guys have been like super good with the dialogue in this scene. When I do the credit section, because I'm gonna like order everything, like there'll be like a section for artwork, there'll be a section for like the writing and stuff, and like I'll probably like split it into sections. Like we'll have a main quest 2 section, and anybody like in the stream who's actively like contributed to like the scene writing with me will be added to the credits list for each section. Or make them go. Yeah, I agree, that works. I smash them, smush them, throw them in a stew, boil them up and make them go. It's almost like a little nursery rhyme. Yeah, okay. There we go. And then Apple's like, he's saying all this while Apple's like monologuing about him. He's like, he spent his entire childhood being mocked by bullies. In the trees, they make fun of him, calling him a vegetable and say he isn't a real fruit. And while he's like, Apple's saying all this, Tomato's just being completely insane and singing this song. It's been a real challenge convincing him it's not true and that he's one of us. I promise to keep him in line. Let's avoid making enemies here. So yeah, that path is very focused on Tomato. So it's kind of interesting that you get different things and different things revealed to you from different paths. Yay. Okay, so we're still finishing this path. So where were we? Yeah, we finished Carol's line. Now Apple is like, the lady makes a fair point. Let's avoid making enemies here. And yeah, and then it'll lead to the next part of the scene, and then we'll do the other branches after we've done this line of apples. I might have to get myself a snack in a sec, folks, because I'm getting a bit of a rumbly tummy. I've got no chocolate left though. I ate it all. I've had all my birthday chocolate. Okay, so now Apple here, I kind of wanted to make sure that with this dialogue line, he showed his, like, the fact that he's not an insulter. He calls Carol a lady. And he shows he's like civil and stuff. Something a lot of the other fruits don't have. I mean, maybe lemon. Lemon sometimes is polite, but only when you've caught him on a good day or at a good time. Lemon's a bit more of a grey character. Oh, hang on, I don't think... Yeah, that's... There we go. Okay, so we've done that line. Now it's the second line, which is the wisdom root. Carol's like, but, no, you can't have her. This one's quite an amusing little conversation as well. So Lemon's like, I have a bad feeling about this one. Hello. Is my name Chill? Big PP. Very, very, very interesting name choice, my friend. Okay. Hope you're having a good day. Also, I don't know if my mic's picking up the noise in the background, folks. I hope it isn't. But if it isn't, oh well. It's there. And there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. So he's like, Lemon's like, I got a bad feeling about that one. And Blueberry does another pun again. And... probably do a test play in a bit so we can see how all this goes down. And Plum's like, you know the word is feeling, right? Peeling is what humans do to lemons. Is peeling what humans do to lemons, or do they do it to other fruits as well? Or is it just lemons? I'm no fruit expert. Oranges get peeled as well, but I guess we don't have an orange in the crew. Yeah, it's probably, I think, just lemons, isn't it? Apart out of the ones we've got. Okay, so I haven't done any of the movement stuff yet. I haven't like moved the fruits to face who they're talking to or anything like that, but I'll do all that stuff afterwards. We'll get all the dialogue in first. So that's kind of showing that Plum is educating Blueberry. He's the one who teaches him. And it's also showing that, you know, peeling is what humans do to lemons. So you wouldn't want your daddy being peeled, would you? So Lemon is like, let's not talk about that. So, and then he's nice to us. And the reason Lemon's nice to us is because we used the smart route, the wisdom route, and actually told them that all we were here for was to bring them rose. So we kind of giving them what they want, and they don't think of us as a threat from this particular route. Whereas the other route, the route where we like friends, they're very skeptical of us in that route at first. And it's kind of Carol that actually ruins things for us nearly in this route, but everything's okay in the end. Thank you, Elgar, for that follow, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Peel and zesting the peel of lemons. Yeah, we have the zest word a bit later, actually, don't we? Which I really liked that one as well. He talks about the zest of youth that Apple has. And him, yeah, I thought that was quite good, how all that worked. Okay, so, yeah, and now he's like, we're really grateful. I absolutely adore how we managed to get so many puns out of this. Like, there's so many. And none of them, like, are just thrown in without making sense either. Like, it fits, it flows. Like, we're really grateful is way better than if we just had we're really grateful, you know. Okay, and now Apple ends it again, very similar to how he ended it in the other branch, but the dialogue is just slightly different. He's like, instead of saying the lady makes a fair point, because obviously that was from what Carol said previously, he says it makes me happy to see you being civil. Let's avoid making enemies here. Because we're kind of getting on in this branch, but that won't last long. In a minute. Okay, now it's the bravery branch, which is Tomato's backstory. And that's because I guess the reason why we find out more about Tomato in this route is because we used the very aggressive approach and it rubbed Tomato up the wrong way. And it's kind of provoked the other fruits to have to explain why Tomato's the way he is. So Tomato's like, the hero in this option says if you're up to no good, I'll have to stop you. Tomato hates that, naturally. It makes sense why he'd not like that. And he's like, I can't take it anymore. Let me turn these yolks into puree. And Tomato's voice is different to the other fruits because he uses words like lemmy and wanna. Like he does, like the other fruits speak in full language. Like they'd say let me. But Tomato says lemmy because he's a teenager and uses slang, I guess. And I guess it was important with Tomato's voice and wording of his dialogue to make sure that it sounds like believable that it's coming from a teenager. So if anybody notices anything in Tomato's dialogue that isn't teenager enough, then feel free to point that out so we can alter it. Okay, so let's get all this in then. and then Lemon is like, I say we let the youngster have his fun with them. Their meddling is leaving a sour taste in my mouth. We had to get that one in, didn't we? Sour taste. So Lemon isn't being very nice to us in this path as much. Aggression, approaching Lemon with aggression, or any of them with aggression, doesn't work well at all. A berry sour taste. All the puns. We could get so many screenshot Saturdays out of this scene just because of all the ridiculous amount of puns we've got. We're gonna blend you up and spit you out. Tomato. Okay, now we've got a very big block of dialogue from Apple. I don't know if this is all going to fit in one dialogue box, so we'll see. Okay. The amount of noise that is like literally happening today while I'm streaming is pretty crazy. There's like lawn mowing going on outside. There's noise in the loft up there. There was drilling over there. I don't know how much is getting picked up, but it's probably a lot louder to me than it is to you guys. This dialogue might be better going on the next box, so we'll split this into 2 boxes for Apple. I haven't been able to hear any of it. That's really good. Makes me glad, because it makes me think my mic is doing a decent job of not picking background noise up. So that's great to hear, Master Emerald. And miss the stream? Oh no, I'm sure you can catch up with Charlie next time. But welcome, all real. Hope you're having a good Monday. It's good to meet you. All I hear is FMF music and RDC being developed. Yay! That's so good. I get a bit paranoid. I think my streamers get annoyed by when there's construction work going on during a stream, because we don't want that to ruin our stream, you know. But a lot of the time it's not as bad as it sounds. Like how it sounds on the stream is never as bad as how it actually sounds for us. So he spent his entire... Okay, so I think that's all good. And then we get some more dialogue off Tomato. But obviously we'll have to make him move around at this point because we've got here that he runs around while saying this next bit of dialogue. But I definitely want to do a play test first before we work on the movement. Okay. So we finished the 3 branches, guys. Everything goes back to a linear path now. Everything all ends with Apple being like, let's avoid making enemies, and then all goes into the same line until the end, basically. But then we get a choice at the end, just before the battle begins, that will just affect our compassion depending on which one we pick. Okay, so I'm thinking now would probably be a good time to do another test play and pick one of the routes and see how it goes. But maybe not. Maybe we should just get all the dialogue in first and then do the test play. I'm thinking it'll make things a lot easier getting all the dialogue in and then working on things like the movement and just tidying it up once everything's already in there. All real, thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate that. I'm gonna go on a quick BRB, folks, just because I need a walk around break. Go sort the problem out of drinking too much water and get myself a snack. So I'm going to leave you guys with some nice Final Fantasy background music while I'm gone. It won't be long, it'll be a few minutes. hello, I am back. I've returned. I'm not hungry anymore. Yay. Okay. Where were we? We were going to get all this last dialogue, and it's going to be a little bit more straightforward now because it's all linear again. So let's get it all in, because I probably won't take too long, and then we'll do the test play after that. But there'll be a lot of positioning and stuff to do for sure, because they're not all going to just be standing there. There'll be a lot of movements and things that we'll need to do as well. Okay, so Plum now. In fact, is there a more efficient way we can do this? So, hang on. So, Plum, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all their dialogue box templates in. I think it'll probably be quicker to do it like that. And then I don't have to keep scrolling up to find someone's dialogue box to copy and paste. So, plum, apple, tomato, blueberry and lemon. Okay, so it's plum, apple, plum. Let's think the order is speaking. So plum, apple, plum, Carol. Okay, so we've still got a Carol dialogue box that we need as well. Can't forget Carol. I think this might be a little bit more efficient, so it's plum, apple, plum, Carol, apple, lemon and blueberry. Carol, plum, lemon and Carol. Can't remember the order. Lemon, lemon, blueberry. Tomato, apple, Carol. Oh wow, Tomato hasn't spoken in a while. I think I accidentally deleted his dialogue box. Because this way, I'm just getting all the dialogue box in first, and then I can just add the dialogue then much more easily. I think it'll be better. Apple, Carol, apple. Blueberry, lemon, tomato. Oh my gosh, this is longer than I thought it was, you know. Carol, Lemon, Carol, look at all this. But it's worth it because all the dialogue is super cool and punny and awesome. I say I don't like dialogue heavy stuff. I like dialogue driven stuff. That's kind of the best way I describe myself when it comes to dialogue. Carol, lemon. Carol, plum, blueberry, lemon. We're coming towards the end now. That's it. Hero choice and then apple. We'll do that after because that's something we can just add on. Holy crap, you look just like another streamer I watch, but she's in the States. I thought I was watching her for a sec. Hi Arma, how are you doing? Welcome. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm very English, as you can probably tell from my accent. Definitely not from the States. But that's interesting. I have a twin in the States then, do I? We all have a doppelganger somewhere. Hope you're having a good day though. Hope Monday's going well for you. Welcome. We're RPG nerds in this stream, guys, if you didn't know already. Those of you hanging out or here for the first time. We're making an RPG together. Okay, so we'll get all this dialogue in now. I'll probably be working on the rest of this cutscene off stream. I think I'd like to be finished it by Wednesday, and then first thing on Wednesday stream I can show it to you all, because let's think about it here. There's not really a lot, like I say, this scene is nothing compared to the Carol cart wagon scene. That was really challenging for me because it was very action based. A lot of complicated animations and things, but this is more of a conversation scene, and other than a little bit of movement and facing the characters that are talking to, there's not really going to be much. So I think I could easily get this done and ready to show you guys before Wednesday's stream. And then we can fully focus on the battle stuff from that point on. And then once we've done the battle, we can do the scene that comes after the battle. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. But don't you think these fruits are cute, guys? We've got a gang of fruits in. We have quirky characters in our game, like barrels as well that have faces on them. Okay, so here's where we left off. So we've got a bunch of dialogue to get in, because the way we do it is we always write the dialogue first in this little app here. So it's just a lot easier to do it all first and then put it in the engine afterwards. Plum is the master of ellipses. I'm going to add an extra ellipses there. Apple used to have a smiley face like that, but we did change it. He's got a very like what do you call them faces where the mouth is slanted? What's the proper word? because we turned his face into that. But the reason being is because he's a conflicted character. So it just made more sense than to have him smile. Because he's not really that happy about how things are right now, so... Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to split this one into 2 boxes. I don't even know if we need that last line. It might be redundant. And by the last line, I mean this one. I mean, it might be necessary, but... Actually, this bit's the redundant bit. We've already said she has special blood. So it's the final ingredient we need to bring by our master. Yeah, maybe that will work now. Emotive face. Emotive face. Oh, you mean the apple? Have you seen his new face, National? It's been shown a few times, but only now and again. Yeah, we'll just split that onto another box. So I don't think there's any dialogue I want to delete there. Yes, it looks great. Yeah, I think the change of expression helped Apple stand out a bit more as a character. It gives him a bit more originality, rather than just being a generic smiling looking cutie pie. Whoa, I've just looked at the time. That's pretty crazy that today's gone that fast. If I'm honest, I find that when working on dialogue and scenes is the stuff that makes time go by the fastest for me. I don't know why, but it just flies by. Unfortunately not. The size of my masterpiece will be huge. And he's going to need every single last drop of my blood. I'm just excited for the bit that's comes after this scene, because we got to go back to Lakefall, and the NPCs of Lakefall will be hoping Rose was sacrificed, so they're not going to be happy if the Seer are there. Someone suggested, I think it was Van, that one of the choices we could make is to hide Rose inside Carol the Barrel. Carol won't be happy with that one. We could either hide her in Carol, we could hide her in one of the houses of an NPC that don't mind. We could hide her, well, she could just brazenly walk through, like, full as well. That could be one option. Yeah, he says zest in this line. He wants to play into a world where creatures of the forest can flee to and be protected from humans. How noble. Yeah, we'll put that on another dialogue box. Do you guys like the word kumquat? It's a weird word, isn't it? Like, it's the combination that's weird to me. But it was perfect for this dialogue line, I have to say. I feel like every time Blueberry says something, he should probably bounce, like jump up. I feel like he's the most bouncy fruit out of them all. Lemon wouldn't not be like that. Neither would plum or apple. Tomato would fidget a lot though. Holy bucket. We'll definitely get all the dialogue in before the end of the stream. And I'm going to make sure I've got something to show you on Wednesday first thing, guys. So if you want to catch the scene, the finished version of it, then first thing on Wednesday. But eventually we'll be putting to the scene discussion on the Discord as well. So if you miss it, no worries, it'll be in there. Shui, one thing I'm wondering about this sentence, the lemon one, when he says, I've just realised something about it. When he says, if you're rude, he won't give you gifts. Should we say birthday gifts, just for context? Because we haven't actually said that it's Blueberry's birthday. I know he's got a birthday hat on, but some people might not make that connection. We say it later on. We say it right here that Plum's like, this is awful. Today of all days, it's Blueberry's birthday. So that's the first time it was actually mentioned that what is Blueberry's birthday. So I'm just thinking the addition of birthday just for the context, because some people might like gifts. Gifts? What gifts? The same birthday. People are like, oh, Bluebear's birthday. Ah, yeah, that's why he's wearing the hat. And there's a connection then, and people get it, so. Carol's a smart one. And that line could have worked as a hero piece of dialogue, but it was just a struggle to think of another choice to go with that one that wouldn't like completely change the what happens in the scene. But in all honesty, I feel like it makes sense now I think about it that Carol's the one that says it, because it gives an excuse for why Carol would surround the fruits and for the lemon to call them a prickly pear. Because the hero will draw the weapon, Carol freaked out. So there's a reason then for us to use the prickly pear line. Otherwise, no reason why Carol would be prickly. If it was just the hero. I was wondering if an exclamation mark should go there, but tomato, yeah, tomato, if it was lemon, no, he would have just a period, but tomato's a little bit more aggressive and less cool and calm. I'm going to make a comment here on this particular, because you can make comments in RPG Make, which is great. I kind of want to make use of that as much as possible so I don't forget stuff. Hero and Carol surround the fruits, because this is the point where an action happens, and I kind of want to make use of comments as much as possible for important actions so I don't forget. There we go. And then Rose joins. So we're getting there, only about 10 or so lines left. I think that this scene might be slightly longer than the Carol flashback scene, I'm not sure. because when it's split into 3 paths, it seemed longer because we had to do 3 different paths, but in reality it's not that long. So it might not be as long as the Carol flashback scene, or maybe about the same. We'll soon know when I record it. We see how long it is. Hi sir, who are plonkers? Can you clarify that, please? Who are plonkers? Nobody's plonkers. I just hope that you just worded that slightly wrong is all, because it don't sound good. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but you know, there's a lot of women who do like RPGs out there. Hello, how's the stream? All right. Just wondering what Sir means. But how are you doing, Rex? It's good to see you. I'm waiting for Sir's response because I don't want to ban him without knowing what he means, because it could have... Sometimes I always wonder if I just see the worst in a comment. I have a habit of doing that sometimes, but... Thank you, Fabric, for the follow. I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt more, you know. I think that's fair to give people the benefit of the doubt. I know I can be banham happy sometimes. I think so too. To what? But I hope your Monday's treating you well, Carla Thompson. To what you just said? Yeah. But I'm not going to bother. I'm a busy bee. I'm doing dialogue. Okay, so... we are done. We've only got a few more lines to fill in now. So what we're doing, Rex, we are finishing off our fruit scene. The one that happens just before the boss, because it's basically done now. Dialogue wise, it's done. It's just getting it all in. And it's full of amazing puns. It's the best. That's exciting, yeah. But I'm not finishing streaming till all the dialogue's in. So on Wednesday, folks, we're going back to the boss battle with the fruits, and it's not going to be as mechanical. It's not going to be so much about as much about the mechanics as in the skills and animations this time. Next stream, it'll be more, I kind of want it to be more focused on the narrative side of the battle in the next stream, like talking about any dialogue the fruits could say, what happens in the second phase, and the consequences of which fruit is killed last and which fruit is killed first, and the consequences of the decision you make at the end of the battle to keep them alive or not, and things like that. Just talking about all that kind of thing, really. So that'll be fun, because we've not done that yet, really. I've not spent much time on that side of things. Carol is their next easel. Poor Carol. Yay! Yeah, it's going to be a challenge to pull off mechanically that second phase, because they're all going to go and hide behind that painting. I don't know if you remember much about it, but it was your idea, Rex. Once all the fruits have been like knocked out and like hit in the, well, though I can't say killed because they're not actually dead because they come back for the second phase, obviously, but once all the fruits have been sort of the first time, once the HP's gone to 0, they'll all come back and hide behind a painting, and it's going to be like crazy to pull off, like into animation wise and how it's all going to look in the battle. But I'm really excited to try, because it's a challenge, and I've got a few ideas anyway. But I kind of like want to talk about what's gonna, like, how it all works narratively and how it can all make sense, because I think the idea was that painting was something that they were trying to hide behind to fool the party, make them think was a real monster, and they were all just hiding behind it because they don't want to die, so they're being cowardly and hiding behind it. I think that's what I remember it was saying about it. But I'm kind of going to refresh ourselves on Wednesday streams anyway, because I've got notes. I've got notes everywhere on it. So we'll just like chat about it again then. Okay, so I'm caught up with the dialogue and it's literally just the last choice now before the battle. And I can do that another time because, oh my gosh, look at the time. It's getting late. Okay. Almost in time. I'm going to pass this on to someone. Mia's just come online, guys. She's on a starting scene screen. But I'm having a look at who's on now, and she's the person I want to send us all over to. So, I think she's playing Warframe today. But Mia's been really cool and awesome with our project, so we're going to pass some love on to her. I was nearly going to do the SO command like a big silly as well. Thank you for the stream and welcome, Van. And I'll see you guys all on Wednesday. And we're gonna, like I said, I want to show you guys the scene. My goal is to get the scene done between now and next stream. Show you that first thing, and then we'll spend the rest of the stream talking about how we can handle the battle when it comes to the narrative side of things, and any kind of choices and consequences and different things that can be affected in the battle in that way. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.